Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm Frozen and today we're playing some more Binding of Issac. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump into an Isaac run. I did try doing a run earlier, and I kind of just got tangled up in my own controller, and was like, okay, I guess that run is going nowhere. I was doing an Eden run. I thought myself I'd be smart about it. I had a pretty good start, and then I got tangled up in my controller. Controller died. I couldn't move, and walked into a room that killed me. So, you know, the standard of a melon play, as I would like to call it. But yeah, I mean, how are we all doing? I myself am doing alright, although I've got a long list of stuff I need to kind of clean and sort out at the moment. I've got a, okay, that's Tears Upgrade, plus diagonal shots. So, yeah, I've got some people coming over to do some repairs on my flat, which, to be honest, they're not probably really repairs. Well, one of them is actually repairs, looking at the boiler, which does, to be honest, needs replacing. It's been enough times it's had issues with it now. The other one is actually, they need to look at my two heaters that have decided that they wanted to blow their fuses, and they've had enough of me. And decided to have an anger day. I managed to annoy them so much their fuses blew off. They blew a gasket. No, that's a car. So yeah, I got them coming over to do that. And although my place is clean and tidy, like, I still have to clean. It's what my mother told me. There is no way getting around it, unfortunately. Ingrained into me since birth. I've got people visiting, clean like hell. My mum would be so proud. I don't know, she might be. Depends how she mocks my cleaning. It was an interesting thing, right? Because I will say my own mother is a bit of a worrywart. Like, she worries about everything. Like, she'll literally sometimes have panic attacks over things that us kids get up to and stuff, which even as adults she'll still do that, because your mum's your mum, right? They always do. And if your mum doesn't, like, some part of them still does, or you have someone who does care about you in the same way, right? I'm not saying everyone's the same, especially in this day and age. You know, mums can not care about you too. It's so terrible that joke lands, in my opinion. But yeah, like, you know, there are people that generally do care about you in a certain way, and sometimes it's really hard to remember that because of just either what you're going through or what other people are going through, or sometimes just because you don't make the effort to recognize it, right? That was one thing that I think came out quite a lot, especially with me. But because I tend to kind of, like, you know, keep to myself, do my own thing. Like, knowing that people there sometimes is a very kind of, you've got to interact and socialize with people thing to realize. And yeah, if you don't socialize, you don't realize these things, right? Not saying you have to socialize, trust me, but you've got to do at least the bare minimum. You know, pretend you're not an a-hole for 5 minutes. No, I joke about that, but I've always done my fair share, and I always butt heads to a lot of things, right? My minimum expectation is, you know, treat me as you want to be treated type thing, kind of attitude towards it. Doesn't actually go the way you think it does, right? Ooh. Aquarius. Not bad actually. I'm a big believer in it, right? And, like, I don't care who you are or where you're from, but that's the rule I'll stick by. So if you don't make an effort with me, I won't make the effort because I have an excuse not to, basically. And there are many times where people are going, oh, Jimmy, yeah, I haven't really seen you in ages. I said, yeah, that's funny because, you know, you haven't reached out. Like, And then someone will sit there and say, yeah, but you could have done. I'm like, why would I? If you don't want to reach out, I'm not going to bother. Like, I'll make the effort to a certain point, but after that, then it's kind of like, eh. Is that kind of petty? Yes. Could I have maintained friendships if I was the person that probably reached out first? Some cases, yeah, but after trialing and testing stuff like that, after a while, you do tend to get a real good grasp of the people that cause the drama rather than the people that are part of the drama, right? You know the people I'm talking about. We all have that one person in the friend group that is, everything's always about them. They've always gone through worse. Doesn't matter whatever they've done. They can always one-up you in some way, shape, or form, even if it's something that isn't really meant to be one-upped. But yeah. I'm not saying those people got their own trauma. It's just, yeah, they can be very hard to deal with when everything seems to always be slightly worse for them than it is for anyone else. I had one person like that. It's a shame because they were actually like, I got along with them really well, right up to the point that then I became their source of nourishment. Shall we say. At which point they wanted to get their, oh, what would you call it? I don't know if it really comes under the line of gratification, but like, their positive reinforcement from me, I guess? Is that what you call it? I don't really know. It's a hard thing. Let's go ahead. But yeah. It was one of those things where I was kind of like, okay, I should be done here, right? If I'm not done, I'm going to have issues later. And I kind of proved it right. Let's go. Ooh. Money is power and 9 lives. So, we take money as power, then we take 9 lives, right? If we're doing that, we might as well play him. Oh, he didn't give us anything. Take money as power. Then we take 9 lives. We get our life back. We can play once more. Kill. He shot up. Cool. I want to take 9 lives, so I would like to get the Guppy transformation if I can, right? It is on my list of things I need to do. Ooh, Bozo has appeared. Let's move on down. Let's move on down. But yeah. I mean, I try to be the, you know, the better person, because I believe it is the right thing to do, right? It is a very difficult situation to sit there and believe that someone is doing the wrong thing on purpose, right? Especially when you've known them for long enough and, like, you've hung out with them, you've got along with them, you've had laughs, you've cried, you've done all the usual stuff. Bookworm transformation, nice. I'll take that. Now, does Monster Manuel stay for the... Ooh, that's a horrible one. The whole floor? I think so. Could kill myself. It does. It stays the whole floor. Okay, cool. Nah, I'd rather keep my money, to be honest, right? Yeah, I tend to... I tend to like to keep to myself most of the time, right? Not because of the fact that I'm afraid of people or stuff like that, but more, I just find it easier to deal with. Like, I'm probably one of the weirdest people you could probably ever meet that kind of gets an idea of how people function, but when it has to interact with them personally is absolutely terrible at it. Right? Like, I mean, to be honest, I'm at that point, I might as well say I'm Captain Hindsight. I'll tell you exactly... Oh, really? I got stuck just in that little bit there. I can tell you exactly what went wrong, where it went wrong, but I will do the exact same mistake in the exact same situation, in the exact same way. Because I'm Captain Hindsight. You can only say it after the fact. Cool, we didn't die. That's the main thing. We did not die. Stapler. Nice, let's move on. I'm really good at analytics, like, ridiculously so. It's, to be honest, it's one of my favorite things to sit there and do is, analyze stuff up, right, down, left, and center, and try and pick out, like, okay, well, what is the probability of this happening? What is the more likely outcome because of these things here? And then basically, you know, build that flow chart of, like, decision-making processes that will result within the outcome that you predict. And also play, like, logic puzzles on that as well. Man, I do like doing that. I know, nerd alert. Nerd alert indeed. But it's something nice knowing about all the possible outcomes of something, and this is why I probably repeat this phrase so much on my channel at some point, that I am pessimistically optimistic. You know what, I will reroll Monstrous Lung. Seems great, but I'm not a fan. We double rolled that. We'll take Mongo Baby, why not? I always believe, like, you know, there'll be the, there'll always be, like, the average outcome, right? And the average outcome will equal something, and then you'll have your either side on there, and then this is, like, the worst possible outcome. And I always kind of, like, look at myself, okay, if that's the worst possible outcome, is that something that is salvageable, right? Like, if that does happen, is that, like, worst case scenario syndrome? Or is that something that we can recover from? Is that something that can be corrected or fixed or undone? You know, is it as bad as it actually seems, kind of thing, right? In some cases, oh boy, is it. Like, yeah, you wouldn't go anywhere near that afterwards, but in other aspects... Ooh, I really want that, though. I want money. We'll do the boss fight. What we got? Oh, this guy. Ooh, he took a hit. Oh, dead. Didn't see the guy spawn in, that was great. Can we kill this guy off first? There we go. Boom. But yeah. I like to keep things simple, you know? If I know, like, how bad an outcome could be, in most cases, Guppy's head is really good. I can take that and die. Nice. Okay, now we will go for a lap around here to try and pick up infestation. Ooh, or is that normal infestation? Because with, like, the fly stuff and things, like, it's going to be worthwhile doing that with the guppy things and stuff as well, so we're on the lookout for money. Oh yeah, I have to say as well, yeah, thank you for some people that actually kind of commented on the channel and stuff. I do appreciate that as well, and thanks for some of the compliments on my voice. Surprisingly enough, I wasn't someone that ever believed that their voice was nice to listen to. Like I think I have, like, some level of charm and stuff about it, but between my accent, my slight stutter that I do tend to have, and a lisp as well, along with other aspects I had as a kid, didn't exactly inspire me with confidence, right? I spent a lot of time, I don't know why I'm bombing that. Worked out. Perfect. I spent a lot of time watching, like, American kind of, like, you call them soap operas? Or like sitcoms, or, you know, like stuff that probably be like, I don't know how about what time they would be on, but yeah, but they were on like Channel 4, and I used to watch those like before school and stuff and getting ready, and I used to practice speaking and pronunciation of words, which is where most of my vocabulary used to come from. Which was kind of like, not necessarily a bad thing, because, you know, I learned quite a lot from stuff like that. At the same time, it's kind of meant that my accent is a weird hodgepodge of like loads of different places. So I'll say it now, I'm like a country boy, you know, although I live like in a city. So yeah, I guess I come from the suburbs, but you call it that. Yeah, I am good old country boy. You know, the ooh-are and the farmer down the line. But, yeah. And what's weird is, like, even my accent, you can kind of get that sort of, underlying farmerish tone if I go to any posh place. And if I go to any place that's countryside, I sound like a posh twat. Pardon my language, but... Oh, yes. See, what you have there is a very nice tractor and trailer. I don't really know the make and model, but I can definitely hear it is quite something. Just imagining a bunch of people going, nope, that guy's a moron. I'm like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Maybe I don't have to go that way. My brain just looked at that room and was like, I can't process it. Let's go a different way. But yeah, so it was kind of one of those weird things to realize, because, you know, a man of two worlds as such, right? Not even like a bad way either, just, I had something I wanted to correct in my own accent and the way I spoke and things like that as well. We'll take the Spirit Heart Egg, so I'd rather have that now. Do lose some damage for it, but it's fine. And I thought that was the most efficient way of doing it, right? Damage up, Om's Ring. Whether that was the most effective solution to my problem at the time, but now it means, yeah, my accent is very unique. You know, lived in the UK, lived in a bit of Wales, lived up north a little bit as well, so, you know, I've spent a fair amount of time speaking to Americans and can really put on that twang sometimes when I really want to. It's terrible. I've noticed this. I used to do it quite a lot, and I didn't mean anything by it, but does it while I'm drunk, and it's a really terrible thing. I will pick up other people's accents when I speak to them, and a lot of people do it as well. It's not just me, but it's really pronounceable with me, because I used to do it as like an interesting like party trick and stuff, where I used to try and practice people's accents while speaking to them, or after I just spoke to them, and now I kind of switch it on without meaning to when we're in the middle of a conversation. Actually, let's do this room, why not? Get some good from there. Maybe. Don't worry, I got plenty of Spirit Hearts at the moment, so we should be good. Oh yeah, I thought I can use Cookie Head quite a lot. Yeah, and I will still do that today. Without meaning to, right? No. Yeah, I would be like speaking to someone that I've just met or stuff like that, and then I end up being like, oh yeah. Right? And then it'd be like, kind of like, that point when they look at you and like, you taking the mick out of me, or do you sound like that? And I'm like, and part of me is like, Just play it off, play it cool. They don't really know. You may sound like this normally. Just carry on. Pretend it is normal. Do not give it away. And some moment they look at you and they're like, oh yeah, you're just an idiot. I'm like, there we go. Now you're inside. I'm harmless. I am your harmless moron. Right? I am your harmless moron. I'll do stupid stuff all the time, and I'll be entertaining as much as I can be. And then other times you'll never want to see me because I am just gonna be a pain in your ass. The donkey, not your backside. Oh, that was an interesting discussion I've had even recently as well. Oh, I took damage there. In the UK, as well as America as well, but we tend to have like multiple words. Well, we have one word that can mean this, multiple things. We have multiple words that mean the same thing. Or we have the same word spelt differently to mean different things. Or the same word pronounced differently, but spelt the same, meaning two different things. And you're looking at me like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought about it as well. Trying to trace it all and track it all is an absolute nightmare. Ooh, guppy item, guppy's tail. Oh. Full health, nice. Full speed. We'll save the rest of the keys. We'll save the rest of the keys. That could become good to come back to. But yeah, there are tons of words like it. Like, Polish and Polish. There, and there. And you're like, did I just say there, and there? Or did I go there? Was trying to comfort someone? Or did I just say in 3 different theirs to explain it to everyone of what I'm talking about? You decide. But yeah, and this is why I feel like, this is why I don't understand why English is so universally, well, I know why it's universally spoken across the, like, you know, the world and stuff. But, like, why on earth we even accept it as being universally spoken across the world? Because it is a horrible language to learn. And in most cases, like other languages, you don't really learn from, like, actually learning the language. You more learn it through context and implications, right? Now, other languages are exactly like that you learn through implying things more than you do actually learn from, like, actually learning the language. You're probably saying, well, how does that work? I'm like, well, because it's all context, right? I got a great story of, I went to a sort of a Hearthstone event and stuff, and I met some Russians while I was there. Great guys, I should have blasted them and stuff like that. But I didn't speak a word of Russian. Not a single word. I do not know anything goes on. What was great is people that live in the UK that speak multiple languages will tend to use something similar to broken or fractured English. Right? They'll throw an English word every so often because of they can't quite find the word they were meant to do it in their, I'm assuming, first language. You know, because they lived over here so long now, they just substitute English words to mean the thing they mean rather than trying to find the equivalent in their own language. Just easier, right? You know, this is why we don't have words for certain things, we just steal from the French. I mean, to be honest, we're English, we steal from everyone. But yeah, so it's just easy to do that way. And once you realize that, like, oh, a few different words here, then a few repetitive words, suddenly you can kind of half follow through with the conversation. You can be like, oh yeah, yeah, and then you'll say something like, I have this habit of letting my mouth open when people have a discussion, regardless if I know what's going on in the conversation or not, like, you know, and give my 2 cents as such. And some people find this really annoying. Me, on the other hand, I think I'm just trying to help. You know, he doesn't know he's doing wrong, leave him alone, he's special. Type thing. And of course, I kind of did that in this conversation, and it's all obviously about Hearthstone and some of the cards they were playing and stuff like that. And they were like, do you speak Russian? I'm like, nah, not a word. Then how did you know what he was saying? I'm like, guessed. Nah, I said it properly. It's like, well, you said this word, and I kind of roughly know, the context clues that kind of this is where the conversation was going, and through you speaking English and stuff in certain phrases, and it's like I could follow that. And like, really? And most of it's all implied at that point. Like, I may not know exactly what you said, but I can get a gist of where your conversation was going, body language, how you reacted to it, Like, it's amazing how much of a foreign language you can learn. Maybe I'll take that as well. Move on. Just by knowing numbers as well. Don't be surprised by that. It's quite interesting. Like, if you know how, like, their number counting system works and how they kind of, like, do pluralization and stuff, you can kind of get a lot understanding from, like, what they're talking about and stuff sometimes. And certain, like, basic verbs and stuff, that's always another one. But I'm not the person to speak language advice from, I am terrible at my own language, let alone others that I also know. I say also know, but, my French is extremely rusty. My German is not so great either. My Japanese is non-existent. But I kind of can get away with those 3 languages. Probably more so than most. I will say probably my French is actually pretty good. I can do a lot with it, but I couldn't speak it fluently anymore. That's long gone. We're way past that now. I would love to be able to go back and kind of refresh myself on it. And I tried doing it at one point, but stuff gets in the way, right? But it is on my list. That is on my bucket list again, is to get my French back up to a point where I can have fluent conversations with people. And then we don't mean like a sort of scripted conversation. I mean an actual fluent conversation. One with all the slang and everything else in as well. That's the real plan. I'll be using swear words in the more French talking. That's right. That's where it really matters. Is that a reroll on the floor or just the items? I think that's... no, that might be just the enemies. Who knows? We'll find out. Maybe. I am taking pointless damage consistently in rooms that I probably don't need to go into, but Super magnet. Do I want to take that? Not really. Oh, nice. A spirit heart. Someone was kind to me. Probably stale. No. But yeah, so getting back up to my GCSE French level skills. That's right, I only took it for a GCSE. Admittedly, I did have family that spoke fluent French, so it does kind of help. You pick up a language that way. Take every advantage you can get. Magician. We'll use that and get out of the way. Yeah, you'd be surprised even when you only like partially know a language how much just having people speak it fluently around you consistently makes a difference. It's also the right context you need to learn it in, right? This is a thing that I learned with both German and Japanese as well, is because there's so many different forms of dialect or stuff like that, where either from where the people are located or just like who is speaking and who you're speaking to. you know, and French as well to a certain point, but I kind of got a grasp of that quite quickly with family. But yeah, it's that kind of thing where you kind of need to kind of be like, oh, okay, moment, right? Take that. I really wanted a Guppy item. I really wanted a Guppy item. I mean, to be honest, I really want to take one of these. But I shouldn't. I shouldn't. Don't be a moron. Man, I showed some self-restraint. Oh, great. Curse of Loss, one of the bigger flaws that I'm going to have trouble with. We'll leave that room. Don't care about it. But yeah. So, I mean, I think it's awesome if you can communicate in another language, right? I mean, if you really want to talk about it, like, the two languages I communicate most in are English and math. Don't tell me math is not a language, because it really is. Trust me, yeah, so when you spent, you know, the best part of your day looking at hieroglyphs on a whiteboard, tell me it's not another language. Because I will 100% say math is a foreign language. Oh. All chests are clear. Ooh, we can go in here. What's in here? 8 ball, don't care about it.
Hematemesis.
Oh, cool. Some random hearts on the floor. So yeah, I'm kind of jealous of. Oh, I just got hit there. I'm kind of jealous of anyone that can speak like a second language or stuff, right? Because it allows you to mess with people a lot more, and I find that is well worth the price of admission. And especially if you don't look like. So this is one of my favorite things, and I've seen it on like YouTube videos, TikToks, all that sort of stuff, right? Of like people that have lived in countries, and their first language is that country, but their parents are like not from there at all. They just moved there, but then the kids learned the language fluently from like first language because they grew up there, and they also then speak English, and then they'll go over and then go to like, you know, they'll go back to those countries and then just start like pretending not to be they pretend to be a tourist and then speaking their native tongue, and you're like, yeah, okay, it's for like cheap laughs and stuff, but still, it is absolutely hilarious to watch people's reactions because of the fact that it all stems this idea of like national, like what do you call it? National superiority? So. I thought, nice. Actually, that worked out really well for me. Is this like, what's the word for when you, like, you know, when you have, like, pride for your nation, but it comes off as a negative connotation one, just a positive one? I'll just do the word pride, like national pride, but, like in a bad way, right? Because you can still have national pride, but it come off in a good way, right? Like that is generally like the main thing that I think some countries kind of need to know is the fact that, like, yes, you are smarter than everyone else, but you don't need to brag about it, right? Let's move on up. Well, you don't need to look down on me just because of the fact that I don't know stuff that you know. You know. You know, I can eat a Hulk burger challenge in under an hour, can you? Sorry, funny joke for, I should be able to do this, right? If I'm correct. There. No. Here. Ah, I thought I could do it. Oh well. I'll have to fly in that room. More hematemesis. More hematemesis. But yeah, I do like I like the sounds as well from particular languages, right? Now this might be a me thing, but there are a few languages that I would say just sound better when sung. Or when you sing them, right? Like Japanese, Chinese, Korean, I think they all sound great singing them. And it's because of the sounds and syllables they use for their verbs and their contour and just their linguistics and how, you know, that all sounds phonetically. It matches up with tones of music a lot better than how English sounds. Between that, you know, in some cases, their songs aren't meant to express their words. It's meant to express feelings and get like an idea across, which means that even to the actual people that understand the language, the songs still don't make no sense. With English over here, it's kind of like the song don't make no sense, but more for the incorrect reasons. Well, maybe the same reasons, I don't really know. It's just kind of a mixed bag on that front, in my opinion. I was going to use a bomb to get out of there. I don't like that room. But yeah. I mean, overall, am I like in like one crowd or the other when it comes to like all sorts of things? I think nah. I think we should always, you know, diversify our cultures, learn from other people, and everything else as well. Because there are so much more interesting things about all different cultures out there that are really kind of unique in not only what people believe, like people's beliefs, but also like how that's affected all sorts of things, from like work culture to work-life balances to family lives to all sorts of things, you know. And like just like on the idea of like basic manners, and I will say it, like in Japan, the fact that you can literally have a shop with no one in it and no one steals stuff. I'm sorry, you tried doing that in the UK, you don't have a shop. You know, there's no such thing as like the goodwill of the people in Western society. We're all a menace. It's just a fact, right? Which is sad. It is sad. I'm not saying Japan doesn't have its own crime and other issues. Like, every country has one problem. They hide one problem for another, right? It's the way of the world. Monkey ball. Oh, I'll take this still. Yeah, might as well just go and try this out, shall we? Let's go face Isaac. Let's go face Isaac. See how we go here. Already got hit, not a great sign. I mean, overall, like, I don't think there's anything like necessarily that's that bad in most societies and stuff. Like, I mean, there are bad things, like, I'm not going to deny that. But I think there are ways that we can learn from all, right? I think people can make mistakes, like, people can learn from it, get, you know, better. And if you don't allow people to grow and develop and learn new ideas, take new ideas on and stuff, then, basically you're no better than the people that say they're, you know, the oppressors in the first place. There we go. We got a win. We have got a win. We got Isaac's tears appeared in the basement. There we go, though. Pretty good. We've now got to complete that a few more times. A few more times indeed. But yeah, again, if you do enjoy these videos, do leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.